Hi everyone, my name is Amanda, and today we're going to be talking about functional analysis and how to conduct one. So you might be wondering, what is a functional analysis? So a functional analysis helps us determine the function of a behavior, and it demonstrates a functional relationship between the environmental variables and the behavior itself. So this essentially is experimentally arranging antecedents and consequences, representing those in a person's natural routines, so that their separate effects on problem behavior can be observed and measured. Which again will help us determine the function of a behavior by determining which condition produces the highest frequency of behavior. So the conditions that we have for functional analysis is play, attention, alone, escape, and tangible, and we will dive into each of those specifically. So for the play condition, this will be your control or baseline condition. All other conditions will be measured against this play/control condition. And the individual will have access to all known reinforcers at the same time, and then no demands are placed. So for the procedures, the environment is set up to have all known reinforcers, and the individual will have free access to all of the items within the environment, and no demands are placed during this time. For the attention condition, every time that the behavior occurs, attention is provided, and the attention can be in the form of pleasant or unpleasant attention. So for the procedures, when the individual is playing, the therapist will withhold attention, which might look like turning away from from the individual, maybe talking to another adult or another child, working on the computer, playing with another toy in a different part of the room. And so then when the individual engages in that target behavior, pleasant attention, which might look like, oh no, what's wrong? Are you okay? Or unpleasant attention, no, don't do that, stop it, will be delivered. Now, for the alone condition, the individual is left alone and no consequences are provided when the behavior occurs. And if the behavior is dangerous to themselves or others, modifications for this condition are made. So for the procedures, the individual is left alone for a pre-selected amount of time without the presence of reinforcers, therapist, or other materials. When the individual engages in that target behavior, the behavior is ignored and there's no other consequences delivered. As I stated before, if the target behavior is harmful to the individual or others, modifications to these procedures are going to be made. And for the escape condition, every time that the behavior occurs, an escape from the demand is provided. So an example of that might be like a timed break. So for the procedures, the demand to complete a task are placed on the individual. So an example of this could be completing a worksheet. And each time the target behavior is observed, the demand that was placed, a form of escape is provided. So that might be the removal of the worksheet, or a brief break of like, hey, you're going to have a 5-minute break or a 10-second break, whatever that might be. So for the tangible condition, every time that the behavior occurs, and access to tangible items or activities is provided. So the procedures for this would be tangible items or activities are withheld before the target behavior occurs. And once the target behavior occurs, the individual is given access to the tangible items or the activity that was withheld beforehand. And finally, these are my references. I really hope that you guys learned a little bit more about functional analysis and how to conduct them.